And he starts talking about how he wipes back to front. And I was like, you know what? This is probably not going to work.
You're out. As I reminded her of Will Smith. This thing is not a dog. This thing is a dinosaur.
His name is Curry and Kool-Aid. We finally got here.
Yeah, we figured it out.
It only took us 12 years.
Only 12.
But we finally got here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of Curry and Kool-Aid. That's probably been practiced 7 to 8 times by now, but this is officially, we finally made it. It only took Brandon leaving the city and moving across the country. But hey, we got here. We're here. And this is Brandon, how you doing, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm just adjusting back to the Southern life. Being in Vegas for 12 years, that was an adjustment. And then getting back to, my people, forgot how you were. And so far so good, man. I'm just happy to be around family. How about you?
I'm just excited to get this up and going. Let me break down for everybody what this is and what's really happening here. So this is kind of something me and Brandon wanted to work on a very, very long time ago. I'd say 2011 when we moved in together. And basically, it just came up at a certain point in our lives. This really kind of started with the one and only Challenge Mania. Challenge Mania came to town, and you and I hadn't talked in quite some time.
Even though we lived right down the street from each other.
I know, but I mean, life happens.
Babies,
we're older,
marriage,
we grow, whatever, right? Right, exactly. And then you and I basically meet up at Challenge Mania, and we get up on stage and kind of just start chopping it up like we used to. Yeah. And out the gate, it was like, man, I totally forgot that we used to do this. And Curry and Kool-Aid is something that we wanted to start, and we did start. Thank God we took those videos down. But this is just kind of going to be a fun little project for us. So it's just going to be a little something that we want to do. We want to do at least 10 episodes. Check it out, see if we're enjoying it. Kind of a passion project, right? So
absolutely.
It is not going to be a challenge podcast.
No. Let's just get that out of the way now.
There's plenty of amazing challenge podcasts out there. Mm-hmm. Right. Get over to Challenge Mania. I know there's a couple others. We'll mention them along the way. But, of course, will we talk about that challenge? Of course we will. Why? Because that's the origin of our story. That's how we met. A lot of our peers are still in that circle. So, yeah, of course it's gonna come up here and there. But, yeah, this is not a challenge podcast. We're going to try to focus on real life, what's going on, add our little twist to it, and see if it works or not. And lastly, guys, this is don't take us too seriously. Why? The name is Curry and Kool-Aid.
It's Curry.
The name is Curry and Kool-Aid. If you came here for factual information, nowadays it's hard. Now it's getting harder. It's getting hard. But if you're in the South, anyways, look at that. Brandon trying to get us canceled right out the gate. No, but anyway, so yeah, man, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. And you know what I was thinking about? We've always had this name, Curry and Kool-Aid. We finally got it up. We finally got it running. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a cease and desist letter because I don't think we're going to represent the Kool-Aid brand properly.
The Kool-Aid brand. I'm more concerned about the Curry brand because I think that the
Curry's not a brand. Curry's a culture. Curry's an industry. Curry's a basketball player. Curry's everything.
Well, you're
Curry
deeper
is
in
culture.
Than I am. Then
Curry is culture.
So if you don't represent it correctly,
that's
the Curry's gonna come after you. Yeah,
that's very true. Did you just say the Currys? Did you just
the Currys?
Don't. Yeah,
the Currys.
I'm not letting anything slip. I'm not letting anything slip. If I said the Kool-Aids, would you exactly? I rest my case. See, I rest my case.
The Kool-Aids. That's good. We should get t-shirts.
No, so I mean, what did the Kool-Aid brand represent? Like that big ass red dude just bust through your wall. Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
hey,
it just
who
seems
invited
like a
you?
he just seems like a police
Who's gonna
officer, basically.
who's who's gonna pay for that rebuild? And
Yeah,
like a
not the
giant jug of Kool-Aid would scare the shit out of me. I'm
he's like, you
sorry.
know what? Sorry guys, wrong house. Like, wait, calm down, SWAT. But yeah, it's all good.
um. So yeah, we're gonna do one of these a week. We're gonna try to keep it under 90 minutes. Sometimes it may go over, sometimes it won't. But you know what? I was thinking we probably are gonna get that cease and desist. So I've thought of our next name, Brandon, and I think it's quite fitting. I think it's quite fitting. I'm gonna get a piece of tape here so I can put it up on the wall behind me.
Oh my goodness.
But
Here we go with you putting
when we
stuff
get
on
our
the
cease and
wall.
desist, we will officially be rebranded as the Spoiled Meat Podcast. That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
I remember that you did tell me about that. You showed me that.
We
and,
used to be, dude, we were fresh. How long ago? 12 years ago?
Listen, okay, here's the thing. There's a best buy date and there's an expiration date. So there's a difference. So are we So you got to figure out what we are.
We are like on the discount rack at Ralph's in that little nook by the bathroom with the giant orange highlighted stickers on it. That's like 30% off plus the 50% off plus the half off. Right. That's where we are in life. We are spoiled meat.
I get it. I'm okay with it.
But yeah, man, we almost we tried to get this thing going a while back, and then life happened, and then I tried to replace Brandon, and it didn't work.
Yeah,
and
I wasn't going to say anything about that, but you tried to replace
it would have worked.
No, wow! You're going to say it to my face right now as we're doing our first episode. What? You're going to say that it would have worked without me when I was the origin story of you.
No. I'm saying no. I'm saying it would have worked until I got to the first episode, and he starts talking about how he wipes back to front, and I was like, you know what, this is probably not going to work.
You're out. See,
because
and you always come back.
That's just
they always come back.
And I'm like, what? Huh? So
no,
I'm thinking about the mechanics of it. I'm thinking like, are we going through? Are we going back and around? And I'm like, you know what? I don't think this is going to work.
Let me ask you a question. How did that conversation even come up?
I literally made a joke. Like, I literally made a joke of like someone wiping the wrong way, and I was like, "It's not back to front." And he was like, "What do you mean? I'm back to front." I was like,
"No, sir.
Excuse me." The record stopped. Anyways, yeah, but you know what? You're back, and man, let's talk about it. So, you and I met on Fresh Meat. We had a ball. It was a very good time. I made no money. You got DQ'd for drinking, and life moved on.
My God. Okay, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
I mean, isn't that
not the
well, no. Look, no. Sorry. That's the reason on paper. We all know the real reason. We all know the real reason, but that's the reason on paper.
You don't want to dive down that rabbit hole. That's fine. Okay.
Right. Well, let's not. But you know what? Let's give everyone their due. I'm sure we'll have questions, right? We can set up one episode. We can talk about Fresh Meat. We can answer all the hoopla.
I want to get it out of the way now. That way we don't have to do it in episode 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, because we can do it down the road because we can get a couple of our peers into it. We can do I think we can do at least 6 of us, so we can grab 4 of our old mates and jump into it and talk about it. Yep. So yeah, we went from Fresh Meat. I basically was in Texas. I was looking for the next thing, and I got a phone call.
No, wait. Let me preface this because you've been leading this entire situation as we've started. Nor's about to tell you guys his version of how he got to Vegas, and then I'll tell you mine. So go ahead.
You're such a liar. Because you're. Dude, okay, here's my version. My version is I talked to Brandon, and we have this I'm kind of it's just saying I've been in Austin my whole life, kind of looking for the next move. What should I do? And Brandon's like, man, you should come out here. I'm out here, Vinny's out here, Carly's out here. You should definitely try and make this move. And I'm like, all right. So we have a 3-hour conversation, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'll be there. May 1st. I said, I'll be there May 1st. And I
I didn't
packed all
believe
my
you.
bags and I threw them into my purple station wagon. And then I forgot my dog's coming with me, who at the time was 150 pounds.
That wait, 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 wait,
And
wait,
so I
wait,
had
wait.
to
Let me stop you. Let me stop you. It was not a
Will.
dog. Please be clear.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
it was not a dog.
Okay. So the wolf was 150 pounds at the time. And we had to basically, I had to get rid of like a subwoofer and something else. I just had to leave it on the curb, put my boy in, and we drove across the country. I got there only to find out that that pivotal conversation that basically changed the entire track of my life, that changed my career path, that who I would meet, that changed physically where I live, that entire conversation, Brandon Nelson possibly doesn't remember, may have had one too many cocktails, and was quite surprised that I showed up when I showed up. And when he was like, man, I got everything ready, everything wasn't ready. So
It
for,
wasn't. It wasn't.
nope, it wasn't ready. And I'm at the Luxor with my wolf looking at Brandon. I'm like, what do I do? And
Carly.
who saves me? The one and only Carly. Carly was like, hey, come on over. And she accepted me and my wolf. And then Brandon and I moved into a place called Meadow Ridge, where there is no meadow and there is no ridge.
Wow.
Talk to him. Talk to him a little bit about Meadow Ridge.
So Meadow Ridge, so I'm scrambling because now I feel like shit because I'm like, damn, I got my boy down here. I didn't think he was coming. I really didn't think you were coming. So I'm like, all right, cool.
I mean, I can get that. I can get that. But I'm a man of my word. But I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So now I'm like, okay, I'm scrambling. So then I look at some stuff, and then of course, when you're looking at things online, they look better than they appear. So I'm talking to the lady on the phone after I see this thing. It's like the price is right, whatever. I'm like, cool. And then I get over there because I'd already put the deposit down without even going over there. And I was like, okay.
This makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, all right, we got to make this thing work. And that's why I wasn't so hesitant when you were like, well, I'm taking the master because you took the bottom one or whatever. And I was upstairs because my upstairs room was, pretty much a closet. and
it wasn't that. It was a decent size, and you had your own bathroom.
Like
we both had our own. We both had our own rooms and own bathrooms.
Yeah, so that was cool. But I was just like, oh my God. Until, Kai, popped my air mattress. But anyway, no, so I'm scrambling. We get the spot, and then he comes through, and for the most part, dude, I tell you what, me and you, we literally walked out of a sewer looking like money. We would go to work. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, me and this guy right here, we would get suited up, get lint rollers for days because of Kai. We'll talk about Kai in a minute. Rest in peace. But that mother.
Oh my gosh.
See, I caught myself. But
you know what? Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, wait. So I have a terrible potty mouth, and so does Brandon. So we've decided we only get 2 F-bombs an episode. And any more after that, we're being fined $5, whoever said it, each. And then at the end of each episode, we're donating it to a certain charity. So whether that be, 5, 10, 15, in Brandon's case, it could be $95. But after each episode, so because we got to be better with our language. Anyway, okay, continuing.
Well, no, so my man right here tells me, "Oh, I'm coming with my dog." Cool, no big deal. I'm not a pet person anyway, but I'm like, if that's his dog, he knows how to handle his dog. Soon as this guy gets to the crib, he's off playing Aussie rules football and jumping off. And I'm like, dude, you leaving me with this thing, and this thing is not a dog. This thing is a dinosaur. And I have to walk this thing. I have to feed it. Like, Nor, you set me up for failure.
It was a pack animal, and it accepted you, and you guys bonded.
Did you know it was a wolf before
wolves.
you got it?
100%. Did I tell anybody? Absolutely not.
But I'm the bad guy. All right. A wolf.
Yeah, I mean, well,
luckily, hey, what do the new kids say? The new kids are all about vibrations and all this that BS. Okay, and it's not BS, but it. But anyway, I don't want to get canceled for just saying that.
Wait, what?
Wait. No. Hold on, hear me out.
So who are these kids with their vibrations?
They'll say, okay, if animals are cool with you, then it means you have good vibration. I'm like, man, look, the animal knows that I'm just scared and I ain't gonna do nothing, and that's cool. So that's why Kai liked me, because that Kai.
They do sense, if you're nervous, and if you're nervous, they get nervous because they're like, "Why are you nervous? Why are you nervous?"
Once I got
they don't have a
with
reason
them,
to be
I
nervous,
was cool.
unless
Once I got comfortable, we were straight.
We had some fun nights, man. I mean, Kai was there. He chewed the doorknob up and turned into a ball of foil.
Wait, before we get to the doorknob, talk about the sandwiches.
Well, we were both working in nightlife. We would get home very late. There wouldn't be many options. We didn't live in the best of areas, and for some reason, me and Brandon just thought gas station sandwiches were just a nutritious, like a great place to stop and grab.
And we were broke.
Some quality meats. I mean, well, we were responsible. That's what we were. We were acting exactly like
we were financially sound
men in their. We were acting exactly like two men in their 20s who just got off a reality TV show. That's how we were acting.
That's that.
Yeah, we used to eat gas station sandwiches, which actually surprisingly never got us sick, always filled us up, and were delicious. Like, it was one of the most consistent things I can say about Vegas. Yeah, we had the Kai issues. There was a time that I actually went to Australia to play Aussie Rules football with Team USA, and while I was gone, Brandon thought it would be appropriate to back my car out of the garage and just borrow it without asking me. Oh, wait, did I say something wrong?
No, go ahead. No, tell your story.
Tell me. No, tell me if I lied.
Tell your story.
Tell me if I lied.
Lead it.
I'll say a statement. I'll say a statement.
You're not lying at all. You're not lying at all. Go ahead.
Right. And then you backed out of the garage and took off both my mirrors, left and right.
Just one mirror. You already had one that was taped.
It was both. I get
already messed up.
Boy, you better stop it. You better stop. I came home to 2 tape mirrors. You lie again.
Oh no, you got that from me.
Who taught me that phrase?
Don't do it.
Who taught me that phrase?
Lie again.
You a lie. Lie again. You a lie.
You a lie. Lie again.
My gosh.
Okay.
And then there was so we had our upstairs neighbor. We had Vinny the Champ. Talk to him about Vinny the Champ. Yeah, I'm gonna take a sip too. Talk to him about Vinny the Champ.
Okay, so Vinny the Champ, and I don't know. I don't want to say that, but if his soul is still whatever. Vinny the Champ was a challenged fella, if I'm saying that correctly. I know there's certain things.
He had some type of learning disability, right?
Yeah, there's certain things we can't say now in 2023, but he was a challenged fella, and he liked to wear tight under garments, but he would. The undergarments.
I should not have let you actually explain Vinny the Champ at all.
You asked me. He would, but Vinny the Champ was like a wrestler. Okay, listen, if we're watching WWE, he's looking like that, So that's what he's, he'll be standing on his balcony. Was that a balcony or a port? He was above us, but anyway, he'd come down and speak with us from time to time, and he was a nice guy. But every night he was a different person. He was sweet. Apparently his family was, taking care of him over there. I didn't know that he was there before I bought that apartment. But at the same time, when me and Nor would get back from work at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, we'd have something to entertain us because we didn't have TVs or cable or anything like that. But I tell you what, Vinny the Champ, he definitely, we hooked him up too though. We took care of him. He was good people.
He yeah, so he was like 65. He had like a really sad story where his family like never visited him and just basically came by once a year, signed his lease and left.
Just to keep
And
him
he had
there, yeah.
and he had no friends, and he came outside one day and said hi, and we became his friends. And then turned out he was obsessed with wrestling. And one night he comes out at 4 a.m. in his full blown wrestling speedo, and we named him Vinny the Champ, and we would hype him up every time we saw him. And
Hey,
one time
Vinny was packing.
he came down and he took a picture with some of our friends. And you know what? This is gonna be a frame on YouTube, and I'm sure it's gonna have some collages of some pictures, and we'll make sure that Vinny the Champ pictures in there. We're obviously not gonna put his face in there, but people can get an idea of who the champ was. But the neighborhood wasn't the best, but you would definitely find like a different shopping cart. I mean, we found like a different shopping cart in our front yard every morning.
But there's no shots
from like stores
spot,
that were not.
You never heard no shots.
No shots. No. I mean, yeah, a lot of knives, a lot of shanking, but no shots.
Maybe some needles on the ground. You know, nothing major.
But it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun, and then we just had to. I don't know. Oh my gosh! Wait a minute. We can't.
I see the next one. I already see the next one.
I was gonna say we can't skip the night you came home with a little bit of cheddar. Talk to us about that.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys know about this game called Casino War, and
which is exactly like.
It's the game that you think that I'm talking about. It's high card wins. The dealer puts out a card for me, and then he or she puts out a card for them. If my card is higher, I win. I won 20 grand in one night. Couldn't lose a hand. There was times I had a 3 out. The dealer would pull out a 2. But that's where I messed up because I was up to 25. I had 25K. I started betting $1,000 a hand. And then once I got back down to 20, I was like, I think I'm done. So yeah. Anyway, bounced out of there.
How much did you start with though?
$60.
And what was your first bet? 20?
10.
Oh, so it was a $10 game.
Yeah.
And you walk out with 20 racks.
Yeah.
And then you fell asleep with it in your pockets.
And forgot about it. Like I went home because that's when I was still with. So go back to that place. And then I wake up and I have on shorts and a wife beater. And I'm like, can we still say wife beater in 2023? Nobody cares. All right. But I'm like.
It's called, is there another name for it? Tank top. I thought the British have a better name for it. Go on.
I had on a shirt and some shorts. I didn't have on what I had on the night prior. And I wake up like that next afternoon because I didn't get home till like 7 o'clock that next morning. I like that cup. Man, I was like, wait a minute. I go into the bathroom and literally my jeans are on the floor, crumpled up. I pick up my jeans. And in both pockets, there's 10 grand in one pocket and 10 grand in the other pocket.
Was that the greatest night of your life?
No.
Top five.
It is top 5. It is top 5.
Okay.
It's number 5 of top 5.
Can you share the greatest night of your life without pissing someone off?
Nope. Not without. No.
Okay. Quality. Good. Nope. We're gonna leave that there. All right.
3 of them are still. Never mind. Okay.
Yep. Nope. Nope. Do not. No. So yeah, we were working Vegas. We were both working in nightlife. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of moves.
Can I ask you one question really quick? Working, what you were doing? Because I know you're very polished in this, but I have to ask you about goldfish and blush. Go.
What do you mean? When we moved out here, third night, me and Brandon went out. I was lucky enough to meet some people here that were the right people to meet. I got a job at Blush, which is a really cool boutique lounge / nightclub at the Wynn, and then it was one of Brandon's friends who taught me about a slot machine
Why you
called
keep putting me in
Goldfish.
everything?
Because it was your friend. Because I met him outside a cat house with you.
Ooh, don't mention cat house. You know how many? Never mind. Go ahead.
And then what happened was I was in Australia doing the Aussie Rules thing. When I got back, I think it was like the very next week, they came in and they're like, "Hey, we're shutting Blush down on Saturday permanently." That was an interesting one. And then after that, I moved over to Surrender for a little bit at the Encore, and then I was lucky enough to jump in at the opening team with Hyde at the Bellagio. And off of that, man, it was a lot of fun. We
listen,
did a lot of hosting, a lot of emceeing.
I feel you like you hit the peak and now you're coming back down. You don't give yourself enough credit, ladies and gentlemen. Nor he's that dude. I'm telling you, when you go in the Hyde, everybody knew who he was.
Was
okay. Don't matter. It don't matter. When I would go there and I'd hit him up and like, okay, I got you. Give me a second. I'm gonna send somebody down. Like he was that guy. He had the power to be like, all right, well, my boy's down there. He got 3 people with him. Bring them in. Whatever. But then we get there. We go up on the stage behind the DJ booth, all that shit. I got 1 shit in. That's 2 now. But I'm like, dude, you don't give yourself enough credit, man.
We'll allow the poops.
He's the guy on the mic. Like if when you hear the he's getting you guys hyped up, Nor's that guy. Y'all, he don't give himself enough credit, but he's that guy.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Where like the first where I had to actually like test my skills was after Fresh Meat was doing the spring breaks. And my
you
spring
did that
break
before me.
Yeah. I was with and then the next year I couldn't go and I called them and I was like, "Hey, I can't go, but my roommate can." And then that was on you. But I did mine with Cyrus.
That was a big
Nick
mistake.
Brown online, Nehemiah,
Tyree.
who else was I with? Tyree and Bronny from Cancun.
Never met him.
And we were there for 4 long weeks. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, we had to do a lot of emceeing then. And then when it kind of had the chance to do it in Vegas, it took off and it was awesome, man. We had a lot of fun there. You were always bringing in people from the challenge.
Of course.
Yeah. That's kind of like how I was able to meet a lot of people too. But yeah, let's talk about where you were bouncing around.
Well, yeah. So when I first got there, you mentioned Cat House, which was I don't even want to get into that, but Cat House is at the Luxor, and I thought I was that dude. And little did I know until Tao Group recruited me, and I was doing Tao, Lavo, and Marquee. I was like, and as soon as I went over there, Cat House got shut down because Cat House is doing a lot of things that little Vegas spots do that they shouldn't have been doing. So we'll leave that alone. Then I went to it just
like what?
What do you mean? I don't know. Party favors and but they were just so out with it. It's like, dude, you're not even gonna hide it. So even with that, so I had to get out of
people
that.
think like that. People think that flies in Vegas. It doesn't fly in Vegas.
Yeah,
like
they think it's just
here.
People think like Sin City. You can do whatever you want. It's not
now. What I will say is, do you have more access to those things here? Absolutely, but we have the same rules you do. You can't do it here. You can't.
Exactly.
Anyway, go on.
Well, yeah. So I get out of there. I get in the Tower Group, a little more structured, and then I got picked up for a couple more shows, and then after that, when I got back, my bread and butter is restaurants. Hospitality. That's my, I grew up in that. Since I was 14, I've been working at restaurants or whatever. So I managed a couple of restaurants in Vegas, and that went well for a little bit. And I got picked up for one more show. And then after that, I was just like, that bouncing around part, I got to do my own thing. And then once you start seeing how people react, I actually was a VIP host at Spearmint Rhino for a short little time. That was really fun. But I'm not going to talk about it here. But it
what's the Spearmint Rhino, Brandon? What is that, like a candy shop?
It's an establishment.
What do they sell? Like, is it a zoo? Do they sell?
They have great.
Do they sell gum? What's the Spearmint? What a funny name.
They have great They have great tenders.
I'll be
And
honest, they do have the best chicken tenders. They got the best taquitos. They got the best ribs.
I'm telling you, like they're for real.
The
Like
wings
no
too,
lie,
like man.
no lie. Yeah.
I mean, while we're on that topic, let's just talk about strip clubs in Vegas. Strip clubs in Vegas they're a little different than they are, at other places. Like in other places, it's a strip club and all the stereotypes are 100% true. While here, of course, 75% of it is absolute. Like 75% of the club is those stereotypes you think about. The other 25% is literally people doing business, everybody going in after hours. Like there's a certain bar that they all go to. There's a bartender that they make. Like it's literally a just you're being social and it's a hangout spot. Not what you think it is. And because in Vegas, it's just Vegas. It's different, right? But yeah, so it's like when people go there, you can't like assume what's happening. No, like half the time you literally go there for the taquitos to see your boys, say what's up to your bartender, and then head on home.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, even to piggyback on your point, it's just, like a lot of people go there to have business meetings. Like they go there and they're like, I want this room over here. That way I can just talk in this private room. That way I know nobody's watching me. Like it's not a thing of, because in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you will actually, one thing you'll actually get there is privacy.
Yeah, because like everything's so oversaturated. So it's like, okay, I'm naked people walking around. I don't care.
By the way, the privacy is going to cost you $800 an hour, but you can still get privacy. That's what.
Well, when I used to work when you're in VIP 1, it's only $350 an hour. It's only $350 in VIP 1.
Wow.
VIP 3.
After you were there, where'd you go?
Anyway, but no, that's my bread and butter. So I managed this small breakfast restaurant, and I was making more than I was making at the strip club, to be honest, because everybody would just be like, dude, your service is great. We were only open from 7 to 3, but I'd be there from 6 to 5. But at the same time, I'm getting straight cash. Like it was puro, primo type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's my third, now fourth. But no, it's like it was easy and it was something I really liked to do, and I didn't feel dirty when I left it. But outside of that, man.
So what did you do after that?
After that, I did another show, and then I started gambling a lot, and I got hot, and I saved my money, and I sat on that, and that was pretty much it. I mean, really, I mean,
nice.
for the past, I'd say since October, I haven't worked.
Oh, nice. All right, you're just crushing life. Good for you.
No, not crushing it. I'm literally in the room I grew up in since junior high, back home in Arkansas, which is not a bad thing. I chose to come back here. If I didn't have the money to do it, I wouldn't be able to be back here, and I have things set up. I don't ever do anything without a plan, but no, not crushing it, because with me, nothing's never enough. And then there's some other things that might come out, a little later on. Earlier this year, I did some things that hopefully will be seen later, and then hopefully that'll help me, get my feet a little wet. So we'll leave it there.
Yeah, way to be subtle about it, dummy.
I know, it's already out there. You already know, man. The blogs and all that. I don't.
Anyway, moving on. So then now you have 2 beautiful children.
I do have 2 beautiful children, but I've been talking a lot. I was actually going to throw it back to you because you are a new father. How's that? Did you ever, because I've always wanted kids, and I'm a kid guy. I was a counselor. I went to school to be a teacher, all that good stuff. Was that your goal, or did it surprise you, or what?
No, we always joke because I always say I want to make 2 and buy 2. They call it adopting, but I'm paying, so I'm buying it. No, but I've always said I want to make 2 and buy 2, and when I met her, my wife, she was always like on the same page.
Not the day you met her,
yeah,
but I remember when you guys started
I know
talking.
that was back in 2012. But yeah, this is our first baby. She's 9 months old now, and like I'm having the time of my life. I love it. Like,
So
I'm
what's
all
changed?
in. Wake up every morning with her. She's like, nothing's changed, but the fact that, like, I was in the hospitality world for like 17 years. So I've
Yeah,
seen more sunrises than I can count, right?
yeah.
And it's like now people know, like, it's funny because in Vegas I used to get invited to all these things. Now I don't get any invites anymore because the last 3 years I just haven't shown up to a thing because
Oh,
that's just not my thing, right? Like, my
right.
thing is being in the backyard in the evenings. We're cooking out, we're at home. I'm a homebody now.
Oh,
And
you and me
so
both.
I am 37. So I'm 37, like, the baby, like, you could say I'm having a baby later or whatever your, measure of that is. But for me, it's like the perfect age and I'm loving it because it's like I'm home with her. I get to play with her. And it's like I have no. If I had it when I was younger, I think I'd have the feeling of like, oh, I want to go kick with my boys or do this or go to the game or that, and I have no urge, not one single urge. Want to kick it at home with my kid. That's that. So I'm absolutely loving it.
You
How
know
are you
what?
liking having two kids?
It'd be great if it was by the same woman. But me being me, uh, actually, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's just, it's a balancing act. But the great thing
Whoa!
about it, the great thing about it is it
You're
it
supposed to say
forces.
it's. You're supposed to say it's great. You're not supposed to say it's not that bad. You're supposed to say it's great.
How many f bombs do we get per episode?
No,
We get
ay,
two
ay,
apiece.
ay,
I'm not gonna
ay,
use it on
ay,
this one.
ay.
No, no,
No,
no, no, no.
move on. Go,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
on. Go on.
No, no, no. It's great. No, listen. My focus is just the kids, man, and I do have two women with two beautiful babies that allow me to have them, and that's all I'm worried about because they know I'm a great dad. Might clearly not a great husband. I'm not gonna say what they did or done, whatever. But I'm a great dad, and everybody, their families, my family. That's all I'm worried about is my kids. So, but with that being said, the downtime, like to piggyback on you again, I don't go out. I'm at the crib. I'm chilling with them. We're playing games, and I have an Oculus. I have an Oculus. I will put that
We
VR on my
we know
face when
exact.
they go to sleep, and when they go to sleep, and I'm in there shooting and talking shit to kids
No,
online, shooting them
no,
with
no.
paintballs, and
You lying. You are lying. We know exactly what you're doing with that Oculus. Nobody wants to picture that, Brandon.
I've only done
Nobody
it
wants. You're
once. It's
lying,
weird.
and
No, because the
nobody wants to
controllers
picture that.
move and the people can
Out
see. I
here
don't.
looking
Yeah.
like that stupid Apple commercial. Stop it. Stop it.
Hey man,
Continue.
everybody has to have their privacy and their times with themselves. It keeps me out of trouble though, because I don't want any more
Anyway,
kids.
go on.
But no,
Anyway,
man.
continue. Oh my goodness.
Kids are good, man. I love them so much, and it gives me purpose, but not in the cliche. I mean, I'm gonna get my stuff done regardless, but um, I have to make sure they're better than me. So that's it.
I mean, that's a good goal to have.
Yeah, it's a good goal to have.
Let's talk about marriage. You have you tried it?
Yeah, I tried it. I've always, my mom is a big proprietor of don't say you don't like anything unless you've tried it. So she was talking about food. I took that the wrong way. Clearly, I always said I would never get married, and then I met someone that I fell madly in love with quickly, and it just didn't work out. But we got married really quick. I have my beautiful daughter because of it. So I don't regret any part of it. It just didn't work. So, but I always said I'm never doing marriage more than once. So I tried it, didn't work, and that's where we are. But I have a beautiful baby girl, have a beautiful baby
You
boy.
can't say you're never going to do it more than once.
But see, my mom told me the same thing. She said, "Oh, you're just saying that because you're still going through it and you're hurting this and that. But you can keep this too. This is the same lady that's been married 7 times, so keep it." I'm never getting married again. Never.
Uh,
I will be in a relationship again.
okay,
Maybe.
okay. What?
But I'm thinking
Okay,
about
what
polygamy.
happens? What happens if you meet? See, this is
What?
where
Oh, the
this,
Mormons can do it, but
this is
I
where you
can't.
lose everybody. This is
The
what
Mormons can do it, but I can't. All
this is.
right, cool,
This is where
fine,
you lose
whatever.
everybody.
Why
What's
can't
wrong with
I
you?
have 2
What's
or
wrong with
3?
you?
What
You're
sister
thinking
wives have
about it.
they
Stop
have
it.
their own
Stop it.
TV show. I can't do it.
You watch too much. You clearly watch too much TV. Do you still keep up with the challenge?
Absolutely not. If I'm not on it, I'm not watching it.
I feel like that's a lot of people. They're like, if I'm not on it, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, but I mean,
For me, it just got too. It got. Go ahead. Go ahead.
if you get a call, or if calls are going out, the availability calls and all that stuff, then you might double back just to see who's new, who's what, or whatever. But if there's anything that I'm going to be on, it would be All Stars. And they're not going to put me on the main show again. I mean, maybe they will, maybe they won't. But if something came out, more than likely it would be All Stars, because I'm a little older.
Who's the last? No, there's plenty of OGs that are on the main show still, right?
A few, but I'm not as dramatic. They usually go for the dramatics on that. So I'm, me, just like you too. We just there to perform, or we're there to, just beat you at the challenge. Like in the house, we're not really on that FSHIT. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, back then I was a lot more civil. I don't think I'm more mature, but I don't think I can hold my tongue anymore.
No, now
I would
don't give a
rip
damn.
half of you a new ass.
Yes.
Oh, I would not hold back my opinions, because it's just.
Please.
I've just realized the older I get, I need a smaller circle. People are getting dumber around me. This is a nightmare.
And now that you have a child, you see how it's quality.
Now that I have a child, I can't tell you how much I judge other parents now. I mean, the minute you got your own kid, you're just like, look at him, dude. Look at him. Look at this. Look at this. Probably shouldn't.
I'm so glad my sister's not here right now.
Yeah, I do.
But I love her, and I wish she was here, because she'd probably slap me right now. But since I've been back, and I've been Uncle Daddy since I've been back, because with her I have 2 nieces and a nephew, and my son's here with me now as well. But it's like the way he is versus the way they are. I'm like, nope, no. But they're just. I don't give. There's no just nothing. He's just 6. He knows how to turn that PlayStation on, but he doesn't know how to pick up behind himself. Nope. No. Turn that off. Why are you being so hard on him? I'm not. I'm just telling him to do what he's supposed to do. Did he buy the PlayStation? Nope. Okay. Did he buy that food he left on the ground? He didn't do that either. Both in the same to me. And I shot a snake in my mom's driveway 2 days ago. Just throwing that out there.
Oh yeah, can we talk about your TikTok? What the hell was that? Are you just firing off guns in the front yard?
No, it's the backyard. So my mom has a couple acres. That was the backyard. So
what are you doing? Just shooting bullets into the air?
No, there was a target. I wasn't just shooting into the
air. Don't lie to me, because there was no light. That was the dark. It was pitch black.
I know, but that's why I had a laser on my Glock. So for one,
and we didn't see a laser in those videos.
Yeah, you do. You can see it.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, on the Glock, but not the shotgun. But no, but then the next day there was a snake in the driveway. My mom has a couple acres or whatever, so they're like in the middle of nowhere in Scott, Arkansas. But there's a snake in the driveway. She pulls up because they have cameras everywhere. So I hear the alarm go off, and she jumps out of the truck, and she's like, "There's a snake." And I was like, "Can I shoot it?" She's like, "Please." So I just put 2 shells in the shotgun, go out there, blew them apart. It was the best feeling I've had since I've been here.
Wait, so of your entire homecoming, the best part was you blowing out a snake?
Yes. Pause.
Why is that?
Blowing out a snake.
Why is that? You know what I meant.
Here's the thing. When you come back home, everybody thinks that and the feeling to an extent. It's like you've been on TV, you moved, and then you go back, and then it's kind of like people they think that you're different when we're really not, but they think that you're this, you've elevated, which we kind of have, but they think that we're like real celebrities, and we don't really rock like that. That's why I love you, because it's like we don't move around like, yeah, I've been on TV, yeah, people know me, yeah, whatever, but it's like, all right, cool. But when I get home, they just be on some, yeah, that's B. He on that. Like, no, I go out there and shoot a snake.
I
Like, what are you
never
talking about?
I never understood. Yeah, I never understood why, like, after, of course, if there's like ties that you have to stay home, I understand that. But if you have the ability to leave home, I don't understand why, once you're out of high school or college, you don't give that an option or give that a try, because like that's all you've known, right? It's like America's huge. Like you put America on a map of Europe and it's like you see the amount of countries we would be, right? Like
Yeah.
there's different cultures all around this country. Why wouldn't you get out there and so that always confused me. But I mean, maybe some people like to be home. Maybe there's obviously a numerous amount of reasons, but I always was just curious at why people wouldn't leave. But I do get what you're saying. Is yeah, when you do come home. But we do have some friends in our little circle that do think they're celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Yes,
some
we
friends.
do.
Yes, we do. What? But
You
yeah,
don't
no.
say.
So that was no. Anyway, where were we? We're
No,
talking
no,
about
wait.
marriage.
See,
We're talking about
here's the
life.
thing. Nor, I need you.
What?
I need you to stop holding
Two.
back.
Oh
Two.
no! No. I
You
have.
can,
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. This is
dude.
episode 1, sir. This
Okay.
is
All
episode
right. All
1,
right.
sir. There's
Okay.
10 episodes. Oh,
Okay.
we'll get into the deer's ass. We'll get deep in there.
Yeah. Can you pan over to it? No, don't touch the
No,
camera.
well,
Don't worry
no, they'll
about it.
be able. They can see it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't on this, but yeah, no, they can see it because it used to say curry and Kool-Aid, and now it just says curry, and that's what I think of you.
Because
So,
he hates me.
but I do have about 7 hours of tech rehearsals that we can get some clips from. That's gonna be fun to play with.
But
So yeah, man, having kids, living out here, it's been a hoot, man. It's been fun, but now you're back. Is there anything you miss about Vegas right now, or no?
only thing I miss about Vegas is the 24-hour everything, because my sleep schedule
Yeah.
is still just random, because even when I came back, there's a 2-hour time difference, and then I was back for a couple of weeks, then I had to fly back uh to Cali to get my son and then come back, and that was like a 48-hour situation, because one of my friends that lives here is a travel agent, and she hooked me up to get a cheap way to get back to get him. But it was like Memphis to Vegas, Vegas to Oakland, Oakland to LAX, LAX back to Memphis. It was, and then the layover in LAX was 5 hours. So we're just walking around there, just trying to have fun and figuring stuff out and buying $20 hot dogs and
Water.
and $18 water and all that stuff, because he's like, Dad, can I have? And I'm like, well, I just got you, so I'm not gonna tell there's a water fountain right there. But you know
Right.
so just adjusting. But the only thing I miss about Vegas is if I need something at 2 o'clock in the morning, I can go get it. And being able to walk out my front door and go to the casino.
Of course. Well, I think it's good that
That's
there's
the
no
reason I
front door
left.
casino anymore for you. If you, this is a city of vices, and if you feel like one of your demons can get a hold of you, this is not. I mean, it's called Sin City for a reason. It's not the city to be in. It can eat you up. It can eat you up very quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we got through the. How's your pandemic, by the way? I didn't really talk to you during the pandemic.
I worked through. I mean, the pandemic really didn't do anything to me.
I know, and people really don't get it. Like in Vegas, we only had like a 6-week pandemic, which was like we had like 2 months of closures, and then we just started putting glass walls everywhere and saying, instead of blackjack being 5-handed, it's now 3-handed, and that is how we're going to stop the spread.
I know, right? So I mean, all it was I was still working. nothing really changed for me outside of wearing a mask, and I got some cool masks. So
My entire industry. So after Hyde, you know, I was in LA. I went down there for hosting because that's something I wanted to take seriously. I got myself a hosting coach. We was taking classes and whatnot.
You don't need a hosting coach.
But I wanted to learn it properly in case one day TJ Lavin has to call sick to one of his 17 shows. I can be like, I'm here, I'm ready. I know, but you gotta still work on the craft anyway. So I was working on that in LA. Then I moved back, and then basically pandemic ended my industry. I was working for an esports company. We were broadcasting shows. We were having a good time. Pandy kind of ended that. So then I ended up being a delivery driver for a dispensary where I got to see every single inch of Las Vegas, the inches I've never seen before. And I was like, wow, like I didn't know this existed.
So
and
you
the
went to the north
other
side.
inches I saw, and I was like, oh, I was like, I didn't want to know this existed.
You don't.
I spent a lot of time northeast. It was
you saw my Mexican homies up there then.
It was a good time. It was a good time. But dude, the pandemic was wild. Delivering go ahead.
Talk about how dope you were on that golf thing. What was that?
Oh yeah, so when I was living in LA, I was always a big fan of this show called Holy Moly. It was a show on ABC. It was like family friendly. It was Steph Curry's show, and Rob Riggle and Joe Tessitore were the commentators, and they would just make it like Rob Riggle was hilarious, and it was just a mini golf competition, but they added basically obstacles like Wipeout. And I mean, I remember one time, this poor old black lady, she fell off into the water, her weave came out, and it started slowly floating, and they just zoom in on it. And Rob Riggle's like, it looks like a squid, and it's like slowly just falling into the water. And I'm like, man, this show is hilarious. So I ended up doing a commercial. I ended up doing a commercial with someone who was on the show and like was like, "Yo, I'm having a viewing party, come through."
But wait. So here's the part that a lot of people that haven't done what we've done, they ask me questions about this all the time. So you say, "Okay, I ended up doing a commercial." How did you get to that? The in between part is the thing that, you know, fans and people that don't do what we do, they don't know how that part happens.
So when I was in LA, like while I was doing hosting, I was doing commercial acting. I mean, commercial acting is like it's simple. You know, they use you mainly for your look. It's not the hardest thing in the world. And so I was like a chef in a kitchen, and one of my sous chefs, we like hit it off. We were homies, and then so he goes on the show. He sends me a producer's contact. I submit a video. Anyway, I go on the show. It was a lot of fun. It was a night shoot though in Santa Clarita, so like in February. So it's basically 40 degrees the entire time. It was hilarious because I was like, yo, y'all should make me. They were like, you know, everybody's kind of got a shtick or kind of got a thing going. And I'm like, well, I'm a brown dude born and raised in Texas. I was like, make me a camel cowboy. And he was like, cool, can we run with that? And I was like, you know what? That might be a little racist. I don't think you can run with that. I can run with that. But I was like, make me a cowboy. Yeah. But then they like send you all these outfits and they're like, yo, pick what you want. We'll have it here when you get here. I was like, cool. So I picked out all these dope golf outfits thinking like, you know, I'm going to golf in the golf outfit and then I'm going to like just do my profiles and whatnot in the cowboy outfit. Nope.
Yeah.
I ended up having being dressed as a rancher the entire time. But the funny part was we nicknamed myself the Sultan of Swing. I couldn't think that's more accurate.
The Sultan?
And the Sultan of, I mean, if we were going to put a twist on a Dire Straits song, there it is. And so I was the Sultan of Swing. And you know what? It turned out like we were filming in literally 40-degree weather. It started getting even colder. You were like getting wet. And I was in this giant rancher outfit. And I was the happiest guy there. So everything happens for a reason. I ended up winning my episode. I went to the final where I ended up.
I saw that shit. Yeah,
I did. The coolest part about that was my friends watching it with their kids and their kids' reactions. That was like kind of the dopest part. Got to the final, completely lost, got slammed in the face with a pie upside down. And then I didn't win any money, but I made friendships. I made a lot of cool homies. And then Tanner, who won the entire thing, he became a good buddy of mine. I was hosting a golf show in LA for 9 months, and Tanner was cool enough to let me just crash at his crib so I'd travel to LA every single week. We'd film Tuesday and Wednesday. So it was a lot of fun. So a lot of cool stuff came from that.
Even
And for those that
NASCAR,
don't
right?
know, yeah, then when we came back here, the esports thing was happening, and through that, ended up with NASCAR. We did NASCAR for 2 years, and then now we had the baby coming, and we traveled a lot for NASCAR. We were gone, I think, like 21, 22 weeks. So I
I've
was like,
always wanted to.
I'm
I've
not going
always
to miss the
wanted
growth of my
to go to one
child.
of those events. Because I've heard just the atmosphere at NASCAR is crazy. I've always wanted to. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
It
Never
is.
mind.
It
Never mind.
is. It's
Never mind.
crazy. It's wild. It's fun. But
No,
there's a
I know
different
that
vibe
look.
at
I'm
each of the
cool.
tracks.
Yeah.
So I'd say you got like Daytona is amazing. Austin is like, obviously it's a little bit more diverse, but Daytona is a really fun one because it's like in Florida. It's super diverse. It's fun. But then, you go to like one of these small tracks like in Martinsville, and it's just,
Yeah.
it's
I'm
different.
Cool.
It's
I'm
different.
cool.
Like, so
I hear
yeah.
you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. Like my buddy, I'll just give you an example. My buddy went and bought like a little die-cast car for his son, and he swiped his card. It's like a little tent, and it was just K's Custom Creations. And then he swipes it, and it comes up on his like, when you swipe it, and he has like an alert on his phone, and it just said KKK Inc. You've been charged $22.99. And I'm like,
KKK Inc.
I think K's. I was like, Customs Creation should probably start with a C. I'm like, to be honest, I think you might have done it on purpose. I don't think this was a.
Maybe he was a baseball player. He got a strikeout.
I don't think
KKK.
this was like a. I don't think it was a snafu. And her booth was right next to the thick cut bologna trailer. So that kind of gives you. But dude, I went to Talladega a number of times because there's the track and then there's the infield, and the infield, I honestly want to make a show out of it. There's some Talladega's the one to go to. The stuff you see there, I can't say on this until we're on a platform that is okay with.
Then we can just throw it out there. Okay, yeah.
I mean, we don't have any sponsor money, but feel free to send sponsor money.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So NASCAR was a lot of fun, and now I'm just kind of. The reason you and I are doing this is because we're unemployed. That's basically what we're trying to say. We spent an hour saying we're unemployed.
I mean, to be totally honest, I do not have a job. He does not have a job. And we want to give you guys something
Hey. I do things. I do
things too, man, but I just can't talk about it on here.
Let's talk about. Okay, so you and I, we talked about the Chris Rock thing in private, but let's just bring it up in public. Selective outrage. What did you feel? Well, actually, before we even get into this,
hold on. Let me get my beard.
You have a tie with Will Smith. Can you please explain that to everybody?
I have a tie with Will Smith.
Well,
what are you talking about?
In college, your girlfriend.
Are you bringing that up? Okay.
Well, because
I got you.
Because this affects your opinion on what actually happened. Because you have prior feelings.
Okay. All right. So
go ahead.
Here's what Nora's talking about. All right. So when I was in college at the University of Arkansas, the Razorbacks. And actually, I'm wearing this because this is nobody has this anymore. This is it's crazy. I'm surprised you didn't say anything about this. This is a hockey.
I can't see it. What is it?
It's the Arkansas Glacier Cats.
Is it the Razorback hockey jersey?
No. Arkansas Glacier Cats. It was this is like over 15 years old. My dad got me this jersey. My name's on the back of it. They lasted for like maybe 2 seasons, maybe, because they tried to have hockey in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it didn't work. It was like a semi-pro league.
You know where it does work?
Vegas.
That's right.
I got a jersey right there. I got a nice jersey.
Vegas Golden Knights.
I got a nice
Stanley
jersey right
Cup
there in the closet. But so anyway, back to your point. So Walmart is Arkansas. Arkansas is Walmart. We invented Walmart. So every year they have a shareholders convention. and they have so many billions of dollars. So when they have the shareholders convention, they will go to the University of Arkansas. We have these big, our campus is crazy. So they'll use like the cheerleaders and the dancers or whatever to back up the talent that they bring in. So that year Will Smith came, and the girl that I was dating, she was a cheerleader because I was playing football at the time. So
I like how you make that a prerequisite. She was a cheerleader because I was playing football. You jackass.
That part. So I'm just trying to make me look better. Because I was in love. I ain't gonna lie.
Please continue.
I ain't gonna lie. I was in love. I ain't gonna lie. So anyway,
continue.
We so then they're picking out the people and all that stuff with him. She was like, she was always a Will Smith fan. And she told me even before, like a year before we even knew any of this was gonna happen, she liked me because I reminded her of Will Smith, which I do not get at all. Then
was it the height? Was it the height, Brandon?
The height, really, the height. Then this dude,
did you get in Did you get in fights on basketball? I think you got in fights on basketball courts. That's what it was. Yeah, that's why she reminded you.
Yeah, my mom and pops got scared.
Okay, go on.
They moved me to. Okay, so
yeah, go on.
I'm like, I remind you of Will Smith. She's like, no, because you're smart, but you're funny, and you kind of. This is a white girl, and you kind of street too.
Did you wear the bandanas back then?
No, I didn't. It's because my hairline's receding. So. Anyway,
if you're honest, I got a bald spot. It's right here.
So I'm like,
go on.
So a year prior to that, she's like, I love you. Remind me of Will Smith. I'm taking it as whatever because I'm getting it in 2-3 times a day. I'm prime Brandon, so I'm like, cool. You can think about if I'm Will Smith to you.
Too much.
Let me get
too much information.
I didn't say what I was getting in. I said maybe I'm cooking for her. Nor get your mind out of the gutter. So anyway, he shows up a year later because they invite him to the Walmart shareholders convention. It was him, J-Lo. Was it Sum 41? That's the band, right? Some
yeah,
them, and then like some other band or whatever. But they'll bring people out and they'll bring all the shareholders out, and they would use our stadium to do that because there's a reason why Arkansas doesn't have any professional teams. We'll get into that in a later episode. But anyway, it's a monopoly. So they chose some of the cheerleaders to be background dancers for Will Smith, and she got chosen. She starts crying.
Oh because she's so happy.
Yeah, she's so happy.
Of course she's crying. She's excited. She got the upgrade.
Yeah.
She got the official thing. Finally.
Guess how happy I am.
So you were real butthurt about this, weren't you? You were real butthurt.
Absolutely,
oh my God. Yeah. You can't compete with Get Jiggy with It. Big Willie style. You got nothing. You got nothing.
But I mean, like, come on, man. I can't do nothing with that.
Man.
So
he puts a cigar. He doesn't light it. Come on.
Here's the thing. I drop her off at the stadium. I'm not going. You can come in. They said you can come. Because I'm still. I'm like, can I use my 1F? I'm like, I'm not fucking going in there.
All right, go on.
So we do that, and then afterwards, I get a call to go pick her up. All right. So I'm already hot. I've been over there hanging out with her homegirls, and like,
I love that you're mad that she had an amazing opportunity and her dreams are coming true, and you're just so selfish and pissed.
I'm 19. I'm like 20. I'm
right. Just heated. Just not Will Smith. You're not gonna take my girlfriend, Will Smith.
He's gonna, you know what I'm saying? So like he really would like.
So okay. So fast forward. Did you guys work out? What happened?
So no. So I go pick her up, and then she gets in the truck. Here's the funny part: it was her truck. I didn't have a car. I go pick her up in her truck, being what I am at the time. So anyway, go pick her up. Blah blah. She's, oh my God! It was just, and I'm just like, Well, I don't need to hear this. So we get back to the crib, and the whole night, because we have a little party at her spot, because she's living with her sorority girlfriends. There's like 3 people that she lives with, 3 girls, and there's all their friends. So it's like 20 people in there, and all the conversation for the rest of the night is, I danced with Will Smith. We took a picture. He kissed me on the cheek, and I'm like, he kissed you on the cheek.
Oh, you are so butthurt.
Yeah. So anyway,
it still stings. It still stings.
No,
I can feel
not
it
now, because
I can see it in your eyes. You're tearing up. No, sorry.
Sorry, you can edit that out. But
nope.
no, so but yeah, so afterwards I was like, dude, come on. And then me being me, okay, and you can keep this. My dumb.
Oh, I'm not editing anything.
So when we're doing our thing, are you thinking about Will Smith? Since I remind you of him so much.
God, you asked her that?
Dude, I was toxic as hell.
Like, you wanted to know the answer to that?
She didn't answer. Thank God she didn't.
Man.
Well, no, she lied.
So you so you were happy as shit when he got. Oh no, he didn't get smacked. Sorry, Chris Rock got smacked.
So
okay.
To your point with Will Smith getting so Jada is the most toxic person I've ever seen.
Yeah, 100%. I think we can all agree there, and I think Chris actually hit it on the head with his ending monologue about her. Yeah, I mean, he hit it 100% nail on the head.
What did he say? He said
the slap pissed me off.
He said he hurt him more than he hurt me, or she hurt him more than he hurt me. Is what he said.
Yeah, it's quite clear.
She's put him through the ringer. So, yeah, she's just, she reminds me of somebody that I'm not going to mention, but she's not a good person. She's just not a good person.
In more current news,
the
poor submarine, man. What I find interesting about this entire situation is clearly it imploded. Which I'm assuming, would have had to kill everybody instantaneously. And everyone is like, that's horrible. But like the minute they find out they're billionaires, they're like, I'll use mine. They're like, oh, fuck them. Dude. And I'm like, I get it. Like a lot of the decisions they make, but just because their financial status, we're just going to shit all over them.
Okay. But hear me out though. Hear me out. Why?
Okay.
Why would a billionaire? I'm a conspiracy theorist. I love conspiracies.
I know. I can't wait to debunk it. Let's go ahead.
This is why this is going to work. So, the submergible is what they're calling it. Costs $250,000 to make. That's what they said. Why is a billionaire on there when precautions could have been taken more with just his money? I don't understand how you can say, oh, well, I'm gonna get on this. That's like a billionaire jumping into a Honda. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, but why would you do that? Because that same submersible, hold on. That same submersible had been used before by somebody else, and they went 37 feet down into the water, and they got scared and they came back up. But you're gonna take it all the way down to depths that cannot be touched without federal. Okay.
I think maybe I'm mistaken, but I heard it was $250,000 to ride it, not to make it.
No, I heard I know everybody that got in is $250 to get in. I heard that it was to make it only cost the same price.
I mean, like once you saw,
they literally now that controlling it with a fucking. That's my second one. I'm done.
Right. When you see the viral videos that have been going around of the guy showing how he made it and how he controls it, and then like a couple other interviews there was like a 60 Minutes or one of those bigger shows basically interviewed him, and they were kind of like poking at him too, and they were like, this is stuff you find at a cheap hardware store, and he's like, yeah, but I mean that might be the industry standard. Who knows? But I mean, yeah, the whole thing is terrible.
Why would a billionaire get into something like that? And more importantly, why would he take
because that's the only under my understanding. Oh, I'm not sure if the Pakistani dude was a billionaire. I know that the French guy was.
Yeah.
But regardless, because you want to see history, maybe you're passionate about it, like, and from my understanding, that's the only way you can go down there is that one company. I don't
People
know
have
if there's
done it
others.
before
I haven't
though.
heard of
They didn't
them.
do. Well, I don't know all the semantics and all the details, and I'm not going to act like I
Well,
do.
no,
But
they've done it as like science and research and institutes,
yeah,
but I don't think it's ever been open to the public.
got you. But nothing. But the one thing is, nothing was regulated. They were just like, okay, if y'all gonna do it, it wasn't federally. Nobody in the government said this is okay. They just said we have the money, we're gonna go do it, and they were like, all right. That's just like saying, I have a boat, I'm gonna go out in the water. You can't stop me from doing that. That's fine. So they did the same thing, but they went to depths that people haven't gone.
And
And
well, I mean, that's the thing though. So it's like they're going to a depth that a U.S. Navy submarine can't even go down to.
yeah,
So it's like it's kind of this special little thing that you can't really relate to anything else, because when you go down there, you're not affecting anybody else. You're there
yeah.
by yourself.
But
The only
here's
people
my
you are going to affect is the people that you're taking down there, which in this situation, I'm curious to know if it was the high profile people that were on board that garnered so much media attention, or was it the fact that it's the Titanic? I mean, that's obviously a media grabber, but it definitely garnered an insane amount of attention. But if you think about it, those kids in Thailand that were trapped in the cave, the Chilean miners, I mean, for some reason, as humans, we find fascinations, and we usually pray and hope for a happy ending. Unfortunately, in this situation, it did not end like that.
well, here's my conspiracy theory. Because they were so high
Here we go.
profile, they just wanted to disappear. They're alive. I'm saying they're alive. I'm putting it out there. First episode, Curry and Kool-Aid, those people are alive. They were trying to get away from something, and they are alive. They try to do it in plain sight because it makes sense. It's like, okay, why would I do this?
But the guy took his son. The guy took his son, and his auntie was talking about how much the son was terrified of it and didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
but he only did it because it was on Father's Day. He only said yes to it because it was Father's Day.
They're alive.
I don't think that's the scenario. I don't think anybody.
Wait a minute. You think a billionaire is going to get into this little capsule that is ran by a Logitech controller that can be bought on Amazon for $35 to go to depths that haven't been done by man-made?
If that is the only viable option, and he is because one thing, have you heard about how many trips have taken prior?
$1 billion, then you can get better technology.
Right, but instead of making that, obviously the $250,000 was a cheaper way, and it's already said and done. It's a convenience of it. You're not going to hire someone and scientists to create a submarine that's going to cost you billions of dollars.
Okay, well, do that by yourself then. Why take your son? Why take your son though? That's why the conspiracy theorist in me is saying there's something else.
I don't think there was nothing about the Pakistani dude that he was a billionaire. It was only the French guy that was a billionaire.
I'm not talking about your people. I'm messing with you, but I'm not talking. I'm talking about the guy that jumped in there with his, but not the guy and his son. I know but actual billionaire.
I'm all defending the Pakistani guy.
I know, right? but the guy that was the billionaire was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take this chance. I get it. I'm a gambler. No big deal." But my thing is, if you have that much money, you can have backup plans. You can have people watching you. There's something else going on. And then, of course, the outcome if everything goes wrong. The imploding of the submergible. There's no recovery of bodies because we can't go that deep. If you know all these things and you want to disappear, you can set up a formula to be like, okay, well, we did this because we know we're never going to be found if we say we're doing this. If we want to go get away, I feel like it's on some other shit. I feel like it's really on some other shit.
You sound like an idiot. Just
okay.
Absolutely.
Watch when this shit come. Oh wait. What's today? The 20.
The owner of the company perished. You think he would want to disappear? He's making money off this.
Telling you,
man, and obviously everybody went because this was the only because how many people have gone down there before?
He's making money off of it dude. I'm telling you, look, I'm telling you.
You have lost your mind.
Give it a year.
You've lost. People are gonna hate you so much for this. Give it a you're
Give it a year.
Dude, it's very sad. They passed away. They're not in Toronto with Tupac and Elvis.
Do we know they
all right?
passed away? Do we know they passed away?
Because they found the hole and whatnot. They lost communication.
No, they didn't.
Everything.
They said they found a debris field. What the fuck is that? That's the same
No, but
thing as
no,
the Titanic
sitting
down there.
The most recent one they're saying they found the pieces.
The pieces of what?
The pieces of the submersible.
Okay. Do we see any people?
You're going to hell. You're going to hell
I'll
one
open
way.
The door for you.
First class.
I'll open the door for you when you come
nonstop.
Hey, listen,
nonstop.
I got a guest room for you.
Unlimited beverage service.
I got a guest room for you.
Unlimited beverage service.
Plush pillows.
All right, we gotta wrap this thing up. I don't even know what the hell we just talked about, but
yeah, me neither.
We're gonna start doing this every week. We're gonna have it on Spotify, have it on Apple, and on YouTube. YouTube's gonna have the videos up, and you might have to jump on there to understand what some of the things that we're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm gonna come through with some more. I'm gonna come through with some bullet points because we got to talk about Cardi B. Never mind. I'm just messing with you. We'll do that later. And then even with Jocelyn Hernandez, when she said that Amber Rose, because Amber Rose is biracial, and she said that Amber Rose just wants to be white, she doesn't want to be black. That's the whole thing. It's yeah. I got some notes, but yeah, I'll send it to you when we get off of here.
Jeez. Just
we'll
cliffhangers, leaving cliffhangers over here.
We're covering
leaving
all bases.
Do you have any last questions for me before we sign off?
Any last questions for you? Absolutely.
Get it all out of your system.
Okay, all out of my system. We're just getting started. So
right,
before we get out of here, would you ever come back to the challenge?
100%. I would. It's just people don't understand the logistics of going on a challenge. It is an absolute privilege, but it's also very difficult at home life. The busier you are, the harder it is. You have to find people to take care of your animals. You have to make sure everything's been taken care of and paid because you might not have access to technology. And then you also basically have to, if you have a job, you have to tell your work, hey, I'm kind of need a few days to a few weeks, maybe a month or two off. I'm not really sure. I'm doing this thing, but I can't tell you what it is. And I don't know where I'll be, but I'll be back soon, maybe later or sooner. I'm not sure. And it's like, it's an absolute nightmare to figure that out. But is it worth the privilege of going on the challenge? Absolutely. I think I have a lot of unanswered questions. And I think nowadays I'm a lot unfiltered. I was wallpaper half that damn season, right? Now it's like if someone says something, I'm probably going to say something. Why? Because I'm getting older and I'm fed up. I'm fed up and I'm sick of this youngins running around here talking all this smack. It's pissing me off.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
and then, in your defense, your first and only season, you were partnered with Jen. So, it's kind of, you can't really.
She was an alpha. She was like lead.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to out. Yeah.
Well, it was like, right. It's like if I disagreed with Jen and I fought with Jen, then it's like we weren't going to go anywhere,
Yeah.
And so
my follow-up question
it's
to
like
that is,
I played the best of my game to get as far as I could.
So my follow-up is, are you kind of jealous of anybody else, or the fact that you didn't get called, or have you been called, or people that you see going back, and, that they didn't reach back out to you?
I'm 100% jealous of the people who've won $1 million. I'm super jealous of those people.
You and me both.
Well, luckily, because I've, ever since the show, I've been in the world of TV and video and entertainment, right? And production. And it's like, I completely understand. It's like the narratives I wasn't fitting, right? I wasn't going to fit out. I might've been good for the seasons, right? But it's like Battle of the Seasons, but it's like, I didn't have beef with anybody. Like I wasn't hooking up with anybody. I was, being a respectable human on TV. And yeah. I was just like, so like I didn't fit, I get it. Like I didn't fit the narrative, right? Like you want controversy. And if you have some of the good guys, right? You have the Landons, you have the Cuttas, but you can only have so many of those. And you need what you need to make proper TV. Ratings, relatability, all that. And I 100% understand that. And because I understand that, I don't like, I'm not butthurt about it at all. Would I like $1 million? Absolutely. Would I love the vacation to go over there and compete and just absolutely wreck all of you? Absolutely. I would be so hungry. Okay. All of you. The only problem is, and by you, I mean everybody 35 and over. I ain't talking young kids. Hey, stop listening. But
don't get it twisted.
But I would love the individual option, right? Yeah. It's like the partner thing. The partner thing just for me obviously didn't work, but
me neither. Yeah. Me neither. Yeah, so and one last thing, I do have to hit on this because on this first one I do want to get the challenge stuff kind of purged out or whatever. As far as representation of, because they put people in slots. As far as I'm knowledgeable about, you're the only Indian that's been on the challenge like that.
I'm Pakistani, but that's cool too. So, but I can be Indian. It's whatever.
Yeah, no, you're Indian.
To the podcast,
you're
Brandon.
Indian. Yeah, because my father was never mind.
My father was born in India, and my mother was born in Pakistan, and then I'm basically Pakistani. But when it comes to that aspect, I believe Fessi's half Pakistani too.
I've heard his name, but I don't know what he does because I don't watch it if I'm not on it.
I heard his name because that came up. They were like, "Hey, another brown guy."
Yeah.
Think. So yeah, there's two of us, but hell yeah, man.
How many people have been on there? Like, it's crazy.
I know, but and then there was her name Parisa on one of the Real Worlds.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I want to say she was the first. Okay. I want to say she was the first, but it was dope, and especially like now, looking at how diverse the world's gotten and the representation and this and that. It was super dope. I loved it. Loved it. Is that all your questions, Brandon? Are you trying to get them all out now?
Well, let me think of something else. No, I think that's it. I think we're good because if I ask more questions, it's gonna get us canceled.
No, let's not do that this soon.
Not too soon.
Yeah. Lastly, I just want to talk about how I was a victim of spicism last night.
Wait. What is spicism?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've ever been a victim of spicism. So basically, what happens?
You talking about Ice Spice?
No, definitely not Ice Spice. This is the polar opposite of Ice Spice.
I'm saying I like
we went to we go to Thai food, and then like they look at me and they're like, "Hey, how hot do you want it? 1 to 10?" And I'm like, a 2. And then every time somebody goes into the back and they're like, "Make it an Indian 2." And I'm like, "Nope. Why?" And for some reason,
explain to us what is an Indian 2?
They basically are seeing me, my color, my culture, and they're like, "This guy likes it spicy." And I'm like, "No, I don't." Now, is it true that Indian cuisine is spicy? Pakistani cuisine? Yeah. Yes, it is. I don't want it spicy. And every time I'm like, "Oh, I'll take a level 2." And I swear to God, they go in the back and they're like, "He's Pakistani, light him up." And I'm like,
"Oh, wow.
Come on, man." So with that being said, I'm going to go to the bathroom now. Anyway, this has been a great first episode.
Do you have wet wipes?
I got dude wipes. But hey, hear me out. Hear me out, though. Hear me out.
Okay.
Just listen. Listen for a second. Okay. The baby has something called a wipe warmer.
A wipe
Plug
warmer?
that bad boy. You put the wipes into this little warmer, and then when you take them out, they're like nice and toasty. And they feel amazing. Imagine if you have a wipe warmer plugged in over the tank. Come on, man. I'm sure there's an electrical hazard there, but my guy, those warm wipes.
So you're using your baby's wipe warmer?
No. I haven't used it yet. I need to get an extension cord. Then we'll be good to go.
Use it. You're going to use it.
100%,
you bought it, so you're going to use it.
Yeah. Hey, that's enough for now. Hey, apparently this was a comment on these things. Comment away. Rip Brandon in your ass. But no, I guess commenting helps traction, helps us move up. Yeah. But anyway, hey, it's been fun chatting with you all the way from Arkansas to Las Vegas.
Subscribe, and share. Is that what the kids say?
I think so. It only took us 13 years of us living in the same city, and then for you to move away to start this thing finally. Yeah. We did it.
It's going to work, though. All I need is rent money. So I'm good.
All right, my boy. Let's talk soon. And hey, goodbye.
Love you.